Hey there! In this video I'll be showing how I cut a lock bar on a liner lock folder using my drill press and a cross sliding vise. Now I have a milling machine, so now I use that to cut all my lock bars, but this is how I did the first 30 or 40 folders I ever built, was on this drill press using a Shop Fox cross sliding vise. So let's go over and take a look at the drill press and the vise. So here is my drill press and the Shop Fox cross sliding vise. I've had this drill press for quite a while, for about 7 years. It's served me well. So here's my cross sliding vise, and then here is the little liner I'm going to be cutting the lock on. You can see the scribe line there of in between those two holes. So I've drilled those two holes for the stop and the start of my cut, and then scribed a somewhat straight line in between them. And then here is another line for the face of my lock. So I've already taken my blade and ground the tang of it to about a 7.5 or an 8 degree angle, and then I put the stop pin and the pivot pin on this liner, and I opened the blade all the way up to the open position, and then I marked the back of the tang with the razor blade right where this should be cut off. And then after I get done cutting this line up here, I'll go out to the bandsaw and I will cut the face of the lock from here up to this hole, and I will cut it just on this side of that line, and I'll try to leave the line on there so I don't cut the lock bar too short. And then I'll come in there with a file and I'll file off the face of the lock bar until it fits perfectly. So let's go ahead and get the liner in to the vise. Okay, so there is the liner clamped into the vise. Try to see the scribe line on there. There's the scribe line on the liner. I've made the scribe line so it is even or level with the top of this vise. Right now this vise is set up square or 90 degrees to the spindle of the drill press. So if I make that scribe line even, it should cut straight across that line in a straight line. This is just a Dremel reinforced cutoff wheel on a Dremel shank. I have it chucked up in my drill press, and then I went ahead and changed the belts in here to the highest speed possible. You want to go super fast. I think it's 3100 RPMs is what it's set at right now. And then I'll just pull my handle down here until I get it lined up perfectly with that scribe line, and then I'll go ahead and set this set screw right up here that is on the handle. That will, when I set that set screw, the spindle will stay right where I leave it at, so then it'll be set down there ready to cut the lock bar. So I'll go ahead and get that set up, and we'll go ahead and cut this lock bar. Okay, so now I've got the spindle down here locked into place, ready to cut. So what I'll do is I'll start the drill press, and I will move the cross sliding vise this way, move the liner into the cutting wheel, and I'll cut until I'm cut all the way through the liner, and then I'll move the vise this way until I'm cut into that hole, and then I'll start cutting the rest of the line all the way up to this hole. So let's go ahead and get that cut. Safety first, I'm going to put on this dorky face mask. You do want to make super slow movements. You don't want to cut real fast or go real fast. These cutoff wheels can break, and when they break, you're going at 3100 RPMs, you'll just send pieces of that disc flying everywhere. So you want to be careful of your eyes and your face, and it's always fun until someone loses an eye. So here we go.
through the back side of the liner, and I'm going to cut to the back side hole. Okay, so I got that cut, now I'm going to cut this way, all the way up here to the front hole, and just make nice, slow movement. Don't want to move too fast, and try to hurry too fast, or you'll end up breaking the cutoff rail. Now I'm cut all the way through, and I'm just going to go back real fast. Back forward again, just to clean up that cut a little bit better, make it a little nice and finish in there, I guess.
And we're done. So there is that cut there. And I guess if you wanted to, you could take this and put it in the vise this way and cut your lock free here, but I usually just go out to the bandsaw and saw it off real quick and clean it up with a file. But, you can see on this folder I have my lock bar. The face of my lock bar is going to be really close to my pivot hole. Normally I don't get them that close, but that's just kind of where this one ended up, and it'll still work just fine. Won't be anything wrong with it, but I do usually leave that back a little bit farther. But there's that.